So Donald Trump has a new defense as to why he is on tape showing and waving around a document claiming that it is a classified document that details plans to attack Iran. According to Donald Trump's latest defense, he's just a big fat liar and we can't believe anything he says, so, it was just bravado, right? That's what Donald Trump's saying right now. Let me read this quote. I would say it was bravado. If you want to know the truth, it was bravado. That's what he told news outlets Semaphore and ABC News. I was talking and just holding up papers and talking about them, but I had no documents. I didn't have any documents. I just held up a whole pile of... My desk is loaded up with papers. I have papers from 25 different things. So many papers. It's, oh my God, why are there so many papers everywhere? I don't know what to do. So Donald J. Trump, I told this woman that I'm speaking to that it was a classified document, but hey, you know me, right? Just a big old liar. You can't believe anything that comes out of my mouth. So why would you think I was telling the truth about holding a classified document? That would be silly. Instead, you believe me when I tell you that I was lying then, but I'm telling you the truth now because I am totally trustworthy, except for those times when I am lying to you, but I will come back later and tell you I was lying to you. If you're having trouble keeping up, don't worry. It's because that's complete crazy talk gibberish. But that is effectively what we got from Donald Trump there. Now, here's a problem. It's an audio tape. It's not a videotape. We don't get to see what Donald Trump is in fact holding up. And if nobody else in that room, that was in the room at the time, stands up and says, yes, he was holding a classified document, then it's his word, against his word. In court, they will have to play the audio of the tape and then listen to Donald Trump's testimony where he says he was lying. And we're not going to be able to prove, neither the prosecution or the defense are going to be able to prove one of those people, one of those versions of Trump is telling the truth and the other is lying because we weren't there in that room. So we can only make inferences, right? We can only make assumptions, but assumptions are not enough to get a conviction in court. So what Donald Trump is doing here might sound a little stupid, and it is, don't worry, it is, but it might actually come into play as part of his legal defense because it is very difficult to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt in court. Unless, of course, you find out who he was talking to on the other side of that tape. And according to reports, we know who it was. What's being reported, okay, this not going to say we know who it was, but we do know who it allegedly was. And it was allegedly Susie Wiles. She was a former DeSantis higher up in his administration and campaign, who now works for Donald Trump. So it's allegedly Susie Wiles. So what needs to happen, obviously, is that Susie Wiles needs to be called into the Department of Justice right in front of that grand jury with Jack Smith. She needs to tell us what happened. She needs to be honest about what happened. I know she still works for Donald Trump. She actually, again, left DeSantis to go work for Trump. So, not sure she wants to spill the beans, but I also don't think she has much of a choice. If that is her on the other end of that tape, she would probably be the only person around that would be able to tell us what Trump was holding up in that tape. And if she says it was a classified document, then that's 100% game over. If she says it wasn't, then it's up to the prosecution to prove that Trump is lying about that in order to use that to secure the conviction. It's not as easy as we'd like to think it is. We look at that tape, we listen to the tape, and we think it's the smoking gun. And in a normal world, it would be. But nothing with Trump is normal, and it's still an uphill battle to secure that conviction.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and here comes the awkward part at the end of the video where I ask you to like, comment, and share, and subscribe for more content from Ring of Fire. Also, you should consider becoming a member for some exclusive content and perks, including early access videos and exclusive videos. Check out the link in the description.